It's time to get complicated. What's up, guys? I'm here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 404 of Hunter x Hunter, which is known as Speculation. And I swear, it's like the past third of this manga has been taken. No, I'm kidding. But with this being the case, and how long that last Hunter x Hunter review ended up being, and it looks like we got a whole bunch of speculation going down. Let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do mean to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, this darn coins, bro. Once again, I have no idea, like, at all, how this is going to go. Part of me wants to assume Seti's gonna be the final boss, right? Right. Because notably, he's been, like, the one prince that's been, like, I'd say mostly unbothered and mostly unharmed. Like, no one's really come after him directly. Obviously because he's extremely powerful. But considering not just the fact that he's been mostly unbothered, he's also been the one that's been learning Nen at an extremely fast rate and is already extremely dangerous with his Nen beast, which can apparently alter people's fundamental abilities. He can see 10 seconds in the future with after entering Zetsu, and then he's able to alter said future, even though other people who are in the same room as him are still affected by the future he essentially broke or avoided after entering Zetsu for 10 whole seconds, which in Hunter x Hunter, with how fast characters are, that's still very, very important, very, very impressive. Still, he has the entire unknown property, not just with his Nen beast, but with his own other Nen ability. We don't know if the Zetsu thing's all he has. I wouldn't be shocked. He's clearly a specialist, so he's going to have multiple abilities. And also, remember, the whole reason Kurapika's even here was very specifically because of Seti, because he's the one who has the remaining eyes of the Kacho clan and the remaining Scarlet Eyes. You gotta have a whole bunch of them. But Seti's the one who has them last. So I'm assuming he's got to be the final boss, right? Like, he has to be. But does that mean he's going to be the prince that's chosen? I don't know. And especially with Hulkenberg performing his own unique plan right now in the background with dealing with Benjamin. Like, there's so much unknown. I'm excited. I'm confused. I'm scared. I'm worried. And Togashi, please take your time. Be okay. Don't hurt yourself, buddy. Though I do love these chapters. But see. You've pretty much proven your hypothesis that the coins change after 10 days. To maintain their physical forms, there should be an upper limit to how many can be produced. Here, the cost... Wait, who's speaking? I think this is Kurapika. I'm assuming this is Kurapika. Let's see. You've pretty much proven your hypothesis that the coins change after 10 days. To maintain their physical forms, there should be an upper limit to how many can be produced. Here, the costs are shared by distributing them to others, making mass production possible. I guess that's true. Technically, the coins are still all Nen. But it's weird, though, because if they are all Nen, or at least products of him, you think he wouldn't be able to interact with them. But I suppose since it's a product of his Nen beast and not necessarily the Nen beast itself, maybe that's why he can see it and interact with it. But I think the fact that it's Nen born of his Nen beast, yet he's able to interact with it, means that it probably isn't fully beneficial to he himself. Or it's vaguely beneficial to he himself. Just because of, like, how we understand the Nen beast work so far. But then again, who knows? His one could be unique, considering it's a beast in, like, the weirdest way possible. I'd say almost every other one is some type of animal, but his is like a sundial. Kind of, not really. It's, like, built like a sun that floats behind him and spits out coins. But then again, I am also like that one dude, I think it may have been he himself, being like, what happens if you slide a coin back in? Sure, it's a slot that spits him out, but, like, can you pay a certain cost? What happens? Let's see. Especially considering the Nen beasts are meant to help specifically with the succession battle. Obviously, other Nen abilities that are awakened are unique and unbound by the nature of the succession battle, but I don't know. How is this supposed to help? I know he theorizes the main reason it's not helping him directly right now is because of his own nature, and his own nature is directly affecting the Nen beast, and we know that typically is how the Nen beasts have worked so far. But still, that seems weird that he would be so against using his abilities to, win the battle he's involved in. Well, the point of currency is to change hands. We'll need to verify what kind of changes occur in that case. First, are there any differences in design between the coins you have and the ones you've given to others? This should be a quick check. Your Highness! Mine is a different design from those. You're right. The front is the same, but the back is totally different. This shows that the effects of the coins can also differ depending on who's holding them. What does that mean? Like, what happens if the other princes get their hands on one of these? So and once again, what happens when you stick it back in the machine? But can you give one of those coins to your entourage to see what happens? Okay, Kurapika, I'll give you this 10 coin. I'm Kurapika, I'm not sure I want that thing on me until I know how it works. Huh? Will the 10 coin change if I give it away? We can see what happens to the number and design, letting us kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to... Then again, who do you give it to? That's the thing, who do you give it? Give it to one of your men. Don't give it to me. I'd be like, no, I don't want to interact with it. Because once again, Nen abilities, especially in this context, are presumably nigh on always lethal. Like, what, outside of the one, I think it is the 7th? No, not the 7th, because 7th is Luzu. I forget. The one who had the puff one that was consumed by the predator, that was born of it. Like, outside of that one, they've all been, like, remarkably lethal. And especially considering the vagueness and presumable power of this Nen beast in particular, if I were Kurapika, would be like, I came here to help, not be a guinea pig. He's certainly not making this easy. All right. Oh, and he's holding it in he's holding it in his hand with the chains. That's a good idea though. Just in case it reacts negatively, he'll have his chains active. But I wonder if he still has his Scarlet Eyes active, or if he's still in Emperor time. Let's see. If I don't take it, he might not trust me. But even if accepting it is a cooldown to activate a semi-coercive manipulative ability, then stored over 10 or so days isn't enough to give powerful commands like slaughter. 1 coin a day. They change after 10 days. This is a long-term outlook, an ability that would demonstrate its true utility after he's king. It reflects Zhang. Zhang, that's his name. Let personality Zhang Lei's. Zhang Lei or Zhang Li? I'm not sure how to say it. I'm going to say, because it's only 1 E, Zhang Lei. Zhang Lei's personality to plan ahead. It'll be safe enough for now. Well. Is that a change? If it's a 10 value coin, and then his face appeared on it. But I'm not sure what that number is. Both the number and the design changed. It looks the same as 1040s. Is that his actual name? 1040s? Oh no, 10th. I have no idea. I'm gonna call him 1040. Let's see. It seems the time in effect get reset when it changes hands. Oh, they revert back to a base 1 coin. So you have to hold it. You have to hold it yourself. Here, I'll give this back to you. Let's see if it changes again. All right. The design changed back to 9, but its value didn't go back to 10. It's still 1. So it's a unique. Okay. So the value directly correlates to the amount of days. In this case, 10. But let me let Kurapika theorize before I theorize, because I'll jack myself up and then jack anyone else up by proxy. Let's see. I see. Now I understand. I have a rough idea about your ability. Really? Do tell. Right now? I don't mind. I guarantee it's not something that would threaten First Prince Benjamin. He's slick. Living as third prince. Wait, third prince. Oh, First Prince Benjamin. He's slick. Living as third prince, he's become adept at using implicit signaling. He'll be on our side as long as we understand what he wants and maintain rank. He wants me to refrain from revealing in which ways this ability could be a threat. Okay, that's smart. Interesting, though. And you know what? He does look actually rather old in comparison to his older siblings, presumably, because Benjamin... Actually, who's the second prince? No, he does look old. He looks older than his siblings. He looks older than Benjamin, and he looks older than, the woman with the cat. The one with the cat. Car or something? Carmine? It's not Carmine. Carmina? What is it? Second Prince Hunter. Hold on. Second Prince hunterxhunter. You see? Camilla. I'm sorry, I know I made so many people mad by just saying hunterxhunter. But Camilla Hugoro. Huigoro? I'm not trying to say their name either. But Camilla, yeah. He looks younger than both Camilla and Benjamin, which is interesting. But as third prince, he has learned his way around how to speak and such, which makes sense, right? You got to negotiate with the higher, negotiate with the younger, negotiate with your father. It all makes sense. Let's see. Third Prince Zhang Lei's guardian spirit is presumed to have a cumulative conjuration ability. Currency is meant to be circulated, but by intentionally making it something to hold on to long term, the coins store nen, perhaps enabling them to exhibit various powers later on. In about 6 months, when the coin are worth quintillion, the owner could have their nodes opened, meaning they'll be ready to use nen. As you surmise, 10 to the power of 64 could be the required for an ability to manifest in that person. After all, that number is represented in Buddhist terminology as unimaginable. Since nen normally requires rigorous training to learn, this may be an optimal way to bypass that effort and the risks involved. Yeah, I suppose it would only take 6 months to awaken a specific nen ability, but what control would you have over that individual? That's the thing. Unless that nen ability comes with the cost of absolute loyalty to Zhang Lei. Possibly. It really depends on what value the coins truly have, or what they do. In exchange for being as close to risk and cost-free as possible, the beast requires compensation, which is probably the pseudo-course of manipulation. A cumulative ability is often seen in those who are intellectual and who like to plan ahead. In other words, this ability looks ahead to time after you assume the throne. Yeah, because 6 months it would take way too long. They're not gonna be able to vote for 6 months. A semi-forced loyalty to Zhang Lei, its creator. Yeah, because if you lose the value, if you give the coin away, its value resets. So technically, you have to hold on to the coin. You have to hold on to the gift he's giving you in order to maintain the value of what you've held so far. It's kind of like how you need to hold money into the bank. Whenever you remove said money, you lose the value that was once in the bank. I see. Isn't it like me? I should omit the part about the possibility of pseudo-coercive manipulation for now. It would make unnecessary waves, and I want to let the coin do its thing and see its effects. Its effects on the person who's hiding that coin that appeared on the first day. That's true. There is a coin that technically is still missing. All right. Interesting. Let's see. Koventoba, the first prince's personal guard. Today is Wednesday, 11 days since the succession battle began. Most abilities that count days as a condition use the moments of emergence as the day 1. If the coin started to appear on Sunday, there should be 10 coins by now. The one who picked it up hasn't stepped forward, even now, because he knows what's going on and doesn't want to give information to Zhang Lei. He saw it appear from the guardian spirit beast, picked it up, and it benefits him to keep quiet about it. He's the only one here who can use nen and isn't affiliated with Zhang Lei. If the coins appear every day at 1 p.m., we can easily find out who was by Zhang Lei's side at the time by checking the shift schedule. His presence now gives me an excuse to why I'm hiding the manipulative nature of the ability. If it comes to light later that I wasn't forthcoming about it. That's smart. Once again, everybody Hunter, but Kurapika especially, he's so fat brain, bro. He's so fat brain. Because that is the perfect excuse. Oh, my apologies. Lord Zhang Lei. One of the enemy was here. I could not come forth about its ability to manipulate if you didn't. Yeah, it's the idea of ultimately him revealing that it could be manipulative to a soldier of Benjamin could mean that he'd either A, give up the coin immediately, removing any coercive control over it, or B, report that immediately back to Benjamin, thus telling all of Benjamin's men to never pick up a coin, or risk something extremely dangerous as the immediate removal of Zhang Lei, just as they were going for the immediate removal of Hulkenberg, thanks to his ability to manipulate people as long as they're loyal to him. Kurapika, you big brain beast! Okay. Yes, this was very helpful, Kurapika. Now I can spend my time pondering how to spend my future with my siblings. Oh wait, no, I have it right here. Yeah, I'm gonna press X on that a couple times, Buckaroo. I don't buy it. Me personally, I don't buy it. But the number of coins you have may also have an effect. I think you should hold on to a few for yourself for now. All right then. I'll give you the one that appeared today, and I'll hold on to the rest for a while. You sly dog, Zhang Lei. Okay. You ain't slick. Thank you. As for the other topic, I must ask you to wait a while longer. The second workshop should be key. That's fine. Fine. There can never be too much information, but it's not urgent. I'm more worried about you and the 14th Prince Swobble's security detail. The first guy's like, what are you talking about, Willis? I was like, don't think of us as equals. I'm just accepting information in exchange for ensuring Wobble's safety. Yeah, once again, he's still one of the princes, so he is arrogant enough to be like, hey, you know, I love with you, dog. I just need you, because you know more than me right now. But you're just a book to be opened, used, and returned once I'm done with it. Let's see. It's likely the others use the first workshop to gather intel and lay their groundwork. You should prepare yourselves. Much appreciated. Being under his protection in exchange for information on Nen pertaining to the succession battle is extremely beneficial, but it comes with great risks. Zhang Lei is one of the princes with the Mafia family working under their wing. There are over 200 members on their board on the lower tiers. Their combat potential serving as inhibition against the higher princes. If the power balance between him, I'm still not sure how to say his name, Sanendi, or Sarendic, and Luzoras, with their connection to the underworld, is important. Could change drastically. If the rope of tug of war between these three princes snaps, who will benefit the most? Benjamin? He has a powerful weapon in his back pocket called martial law. The intensifying conflict between the factions will be enough reason to enact it. He can place all the princes under house arrest, with the pretext of protecting them, and then he'll have free reign. Yeah, pretty much to slaughter them all. That's the thing. Uh-oh. Someone broke into their house, into their room on the ship during martial law, and gave them back shots. The sword. What a shame. Yeah. That will be the perfect time. And honestly, the sooner Benjamin can enforce martial law, the better for him. Because if he keeps letting Nen and its information spread out, he keeps letting the other princes get stronger and stronger and more information, in this case, because knowledge is power, he's going to keep jeopardizing himself. He needs to get in where he can fit in right now before things get too chaotic. Let's see. The problem is how much the free reign. The problem is how much the rope gets cut. The rope that held this balance for so long may seem fragile, but it's actually strong. If this breaks out into an all-out war without any deals, the surest thing to happen will be the assassination of the leaders. Of the gang leaders or of the princes? The real leaders here are the benefactor princes. Yeah, okay. Once the situation is created where any assassination of a prince could be interpreted as a gang hit, the all-out war will transition into martial law. Yeah, so no matter what, it ends up falling. That does make sense. No matter what, it ends up falling into Benjamin's hand. So it's entirely possible that Benjamin will go after either Zhang Lei, Sarindi, or Luzoras in order to create this very situation. And considering Benjamin's personality, yeah, this is looking rough. Actually, it is interesting to see their familial similarities and how Togashi draws them. It's actually very, very good. Even if Zhang Lei wasn't living with the youngest prince to protect her, he won't hesitate. In fact, her end would emphasize the cruelty of the gangs and place the blame on them. Yeah, which will once again allow him. So Benjamin, he ultimately, the best goal of all the other princes is to get rid of Benjamin. And then again, that could mean, but no, Camilla's currently under arrest, or no, she was let go. I think I forget exactly what happened to Camilla. But ultimately, I wonder if martial law would just shift back to the king or to somebody else. Another one of the princes, perhaps. I don't know. Let's see. Being in room 1014, where each of the prince's guards monitor and keep the others in check, may be safer than the risk of Benjamin coming after us in room 1003. But we don't know who sent those snakes. Not to mention the danger each of them is. Not to mention the danger that each of them is plotting something. Which choice involves more risk? The difference is negligible. It's a gut decision. Either way, we're on thin ice. Oito looks mad majestic here. Yeah, they all kind of look mad majestic here. This is a very clean shot by I was called the bot by Togashi. Okay. Let's see. I think. I think the best choice is 1003. It is risky, most certainly, but right now I think Kanapi is a bit too much of an asset, and right now you want to collide and collect resources. But then again, do you want to be in the same room as the Nen Beast? And what'll happen? But then again, the princes and Nen Beasts won't interact. That's a rule. It's real. It's real dangerous. But I think because ultimately isolation is just going to once again have the issue of isolating them. Meanwhile, if house arrest goes down, at least Kurapika could expect he has the support or at least the cooperation. Then again, maybe you don't, because who knows? At any time, Zhang Lei could just be like, "They're here, might as well," and just immediately decide to off. So maybe 1014 still is the correct choice, even if it is isolation. It may be better. Let's see. Those are wheels screeching along. Oh, we're actually got Leorio and Cheeto. Let's see. Patient is unresponsive. Temperature 97.9. Oh, we're in Fahrenheit. No tremors or labored breathing. Bleeding? No tremors or labored breathing. He may have hit his head when he fell. Order A, Chem 7, blood panel, and CT. Ask 7 Prince Hulkenberg's guards on Tier 1 about his condition over the past week. Oh yeah, that's right. It's Hulkenberg. Let's see. Send the vomitus to gel in forensics. Stat. Notorious persona won't wake up until I go to sleep. The addition of a coma to the symptoms will delay the stomach flu diagnosis conveniently. If I get mother to refuse an autopsy, my death will be officially classified as an unexplained organ failure. Hulkenberg vomited and was taken to the hospital. My mission will be complete in 12 hours. Once he starts vomiting, it'll take half a day until death. We don't want any interference. Good work. I'll send the Royal and military medical teams there. Monitor progress. Yes, sir. Interesting. But still, I wonder how he tested this. I mean, it's been a little while. It's been a couple of days. But like, how did he figure all this out? I'm shocked he figured still out how to transfer himself. Interesting. So until he goes to sleep, so he needs to now stay up for 12 hours. And the thing is, the target's persona. So the question is, do they wake up in his body? Or do they wake up in this body? Will he have to fight off Balsamico? Or will Balsamico just appear in Hulkenberg's body, already physically fatigued? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, we're getting an explanation. We proved our hypothesis experiment with Shikaku and Sumidori. After he was shot, Sumidori, the body, awoke and recited Shikaku's service number. Okay. We confirmed that the fact that only one of the swap minds can be awake at a time. Our side generally has priority. While Sumidori, the body, is conscious, Shikaku, the mind, won't awaken once Sumidori wakes up. Shikaku is forced to lose consciousness trying to awaken. Shikaku won't work. During this time, this priority is earned by putting our lives on the line. Okay. So the mind of the body is still there within the vessel. So right now, for all intents and purposes, Hulkenberg's body is soulless. Or at least mindless. It's literally operating purely on instinct because it's empty. The base mind is still there. Shikaku the mind won't awaken once Sumidori wakes up. Shikaku is forced to lose consciousness. So wait, let me get this. Sumidori the body, Shikaku the mind. Shikaku is forced to lose consciousness trying to awaken. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me read this slowly. While Sumidori, the body, is conscious, Shikaku, the mind, won't awaken when Sumidori wakes up. Shikaku is forced to lose consciousness trying to awaken. Okay, there we go. There's a period there that I couldn't see because of how it overlaps with the line here. Consciousness. Trying to awaken Shikaku won't work during this time. This priority is earned by putting our lives on the line. Okay, so they get first ring. They get first ring over the body, but once the original owner of the body wakes up, then they can override and delete the person who overtook their body. So, yeah, the original body is just soulless, mindless. I wonder how it functions. That's strange. I wonder, but then again, let's see how they tested that in order to make sure that he could return. And how do you know how to send himself? My ability is a forced mind swap. One person is chosen at random from our group and switches minds with the victim shot with the arrow. Next, we needed to mind swap? But wouldn't that be mind locked? Because it's not like because it's still in there. It's not like the mind's being swapped. The mind's being suppressed and overridden. It's like it's not necessarily mind swap. I'd say that's kind of wrong. At least how it's described. It seems like mind giving. Like you give your mind into the body of the new person at the sacrifice of your own original body in order to overtake their body and get access to their information. I wouldn't say it's a mind swap. It's like mind suppression, like giving somebody else a mind or putting your mind in somebody else's body. I think. Let's see. My ability is a forced mind swap. One person is chosen at random from our group and switches minds with the victim shot with the arrow. Next, we need to find out what happens to the mind when the body dies. When there are two bodies, only one persona can be awake at a time, and the priority goes to us. Okay, so when there are two bodies, but priority can be overtaken by the waking up of the original mind. Since the definition of death isn't spelled out in the succession battle, it's reasonable to consider both the body and the mind need to be dead. Therefore, once we split a prince's mind from their body, there's no point in testing a process by which the target's mind could return to the original body. What we needed to test first was 1. When the target's body dies. Wait, what? When the target's body dies first, what happens to the person within? 2. When the target's body dies first. 2. What if the target's mind, having lost a body to return to, also loses his current body? As for 2, it's obvious when you consider that this is an ability made possible by the assistance of the guardian spirit beast in order to win the succession battle. As for 1, only those who are willing to sacrifice themselves for the greater good can participate in my ability, feeling morally conflicted about its disservice to their righteous dedication to its cause. My focus must remain on fighting to build the ideal nation, to honor their noble sacrifices. Okay. My brain will hurt a little bit, but okay. What happens when the target's body dies first? What happens to the person within? So does the mind just unlatch and become free roam? What if the target's mind, having lost the body, what if the target's mind, having lost the body to return to, also loses his current body? This is worded really weirdly. Maybe my brain, I'm not the sharpest spoon in the kitchen, so maybe my brain's just lagging a little bit. Let me see if I can think a brain blast through this one. What if the target's mind, the target being the person who's attacked with the arrow, having lost a body to return to, also loses his current body? But see, I think that's poorly phrased, because I think what that means is that if the target's body, having lost the body to return to, also loses his current body. So that means the target is not the person who's hit by the arrow, it's the person who's subject to the mind transfer. That was weirdly worded. That's why what I was thinking, target, maybe it's not really worded, maybe I'm just not the sharpest spoon in the kitchen shed, very likely that. What I thought that was saying is a target being the person who gets hit and has their mind forcefully suppressed inside their own body. No, the target is the person who becomes essentially loaded into the arrow to have their mind launched into somebody else's body. So what if the target mind, having lost, also loses his current body? So essentially what happens if someone in control of another body dies while they're in control of said body? Current body. As for 2, it's obvious when you consider that this is an ability made possible by the assistance of the guardian spirit beast. And that doesn't make it obvious. What is that supposed to mean? Target's body dies first. What happens to the person's body? So essentially, the person doesn't die. When the person's life is used up by the arrow, it's only their body goes limp because there's nothing in there. There's no consciousness guiding it, but they're still alive for all intents and purposes. But then again, what would be the concern of even losing the old body, right? If it's still alive, wouldn't it just have to? I don't know. I was like, as for 1, the only one who sacrificed themselves, blah blah blah. The probability of me swapping with Balsamico myself was low, but within expected parameters. We experimented with Vic in advance. Okay, so so he just got lucky. For all intents and purposes, he got lucky that he was swapped. How? But then again, why would you? That's a really big gamble to take. Because one of your random people swapped with Balsamico, sure, they'd be loyal to you, but then how are you going to offer your? Because once again, I'm assuming the main reason he did this. Let me keep reading, but off the top of the dome piece before I keep reading. The main reason I assume he did this in particular was in order to make sure that his original body could die, quote unquote, in order to get Benjamin's guard lower, so he could use Balsamico to go and slaughter Benjamin. To order to get rid of any risk of martial law and bada bing, bada boom, remove a big threat, as in one of the big princes. by taking over Balsamico, one of their lead persons. But if someone else had swapped into that, how would you fake it? Unless you're just a really good actor, I guess. Let's see. If the body on our side dies first, the victim's mind returns to their own body and coexists within the trespasser's mind. If the body on our side dies first, the victim's mind returns to their own body and coexists with the trespasser's mind. In that case, the victim's mind regains thought. Okay. So wait, so he's okay. Now I'm extra confused. This doesn't make so. Balsamico is in Hulkenberg, right? Am I tweaking? No, what do you mean? So this doesn't. Okay, I must be reading this horrifically poorly. I'm gonna have to look up an explanation afterwards, after recording this, or maybe even during recording this. This doesn't make any sense. It's not a. I thought it wasn't a mind swap. When he's described as a mind swap, it's weird because what does he mean? Well, we need to test first when the target's body dies first. Not this. When he said, we proved our hypothesis on our experiment with Shikaku and Sumidori. After he was shot, Sumidori, the body, awoke and recited Shikaku's service number. Sumidori, the body, awoke and recited Shikaku's service number. We confirm that the fact that only one of the swap minds can be awake at a time. But that's the thing. If it's a mind swap, then what happens to the original body shouldn't matter. Or the essentially the victim of the mind swap should have their brain or their mind placed in the other body. So right now, Balsamico should be in Hulkenberg. But then what does it matter when the other person wakes up? Does then the body go limp and shut down completely? And then the mind goes back to the original body and then begins the overriding process? And then it becomes a matter of who has priority? Because then that's not two minds coexisting in the same body. And then it's not a mind swap, it's mind suppression. I don't know. This seems a little bit... Maybe once again, maybe I'm just struggling with the word salad. I've been wrong with Hunter x Hunter before. Let's see. The body on our side dies first. The victim's mind returns to their own body, and coexists with the trespasser's mind. In that case, the victim's mind regains dominance. So, body dies on their side. So it's a mind swap in the sense that that makes absolutely no sense, though. Then what's the whole idea of two bodies coexisting and the mind being awake in one, not awake in the other? That doesn't make any sense. Why does that matter? If our body dies first, then they'll return to their original body. So the other mind is in there. But you can't have both. So both bodies are alive and one wakes up. The victim of the arrow will be inside the other body, right? Going by the logic of it being a mind swap. But then why does any of their mind have to interact with the mind that's in the other body? Wouldn't the mind swap just be permanent? At least from what he mentions earlier, no, it wouldn't be. Balsamico is in there, he's just knocked out. In there with him, and thusly he'll get control back over the body. But then it's not like Hulkenberg's mind will now switch back to his body. Let me keep reading, let me think a bit more, and let me see. Y'all probably in the comments right now or watching the video being like, pencil. It's not this complicated. You're just unable to read. Let's see. In that case, the victim's mind regains dominance. Therefore, right after my body dies, Balsamico's mind will return to his own body, and my mind will be forced into sleep. But we can do something about this. Right before my body dies, I'll take a sleeping pill in Balsamico's body. The time I'll have until Balsamico's mind reawakens can only be loosely finessed, but I'll be able to control this body for about 10 hours after my own body's death. I'll have to finish within that time. My next move, to be the victor in the succession battle. So the person does need to die. So there can't be two existing. That's so weird. I don't get that. So okay. That is so strange. So the body does have to die. Or the victim of the body, their body that they're now forced into, does have to die in order for them to return to their base body. Then what was that? Did I misread that earlier? What was that talk about them being able to awaken? Our hypothesis... Hold on. Let me see. The target's persona won't wake up until I go to sleep. Okay. So, okay, let me see if I understand this. So maybe I think I did misinterpret something. So the target persona won't wake up until I go to sleep. So Balsamico's persona inside Hulkenberg's body will not wake up until he goes to sleep, which then begins a temporary process of technically Hulkenberg still being in Balsamico's body, but Balsamico now being in Hulkenberg's body. And then he'll be awake. It'll depend on if the body's able to handle the awoken mind, though. We proved our hypothesis with Shikaku and Sumidori after he was shot. So Midori, the body, awoke and recited Shikaku's service number. Okay. So okay, I think I get it now. He offed himself when he was shot. That means when he blew his own brains out. So his ally returned back to his body and recited the body service number, aka the information that was in the body he had taken over. We confirm the fact that only one of the swap minds can be awake at a time. Okay. Now I think I get it. I think that's on me. I'm not even going to say that was worded poorly on Togashi's part or the translator's part. I think that was just me. Let me see if there's any more information before I try to explain it to rationalize it to you and myself. Y'all may have gotten this already and be like, Pencil, you're just dumb. And in that case, you're right. But let's see. Blah, blah, blah. My next move to be the victor in the system bout. Okay, we're cutting back to cheat. Okay. So, in fact, no, I don't want to burn a page. I can burn the back of the page because it doesn't really matter. So let me try and rationalize this for me, myself, and I. Perfect. This is a book page. I'm really expect to use this again. So it works a little something like this. So for the start of the equation, we have person 1 and person 2. I'm not sure if it's 2. Yeah, okay, you have person 1 and person 2. So Hulkenberg uses his ability to swap the minds of person 1 and person 2. The arrow. Now, those two minds swap. The conditions for the arrow is random. They do not know who will swap in the group when the arrow is going to be used. They just know somebody will be swapped. So 1 and 2 are not the only person who's solidly confirmed in this choosing access is 2. 2 is always confirmed. They are going to be the target for the mind swap. The mind swap will be picked of someone random within the group that is used to fuel 1 who's firing the arrow. Or no, the person firing the arrow, which will be Hulkenberg, that'll be picked at random, but then that will be transferred over. So while 2 and 1 are swapped, only 2 who has the mind of 1 will be conscious, while 1 who has the mind of 2 will be unconscious. That is a byproduct of the swapping process. So 1 will have the mind of 2, but they will be out, so they will be removed. Meanwhile, 2 has priority. They will be awake, but they will have the mind of 1. Until mind 2 awakens, until mind 2 goes to sleep, mind 1 will stay asleep. So as long as mind 2 stays, or body 2 with mind 1 stays in contact, then body 1 with mind 2 will stay out of contact. So while conscious, while up, only then will their consciousness switch. And then that, when such does happen, mind 2 and body 1 will be awake, but by proxy, they will still be within the mind swap body, while body 2 with mind 1 is unconscious. And then they will be unable to regain consciousness, as then the original body does have priority. However, if something happens to either body, presumably, at least from my understanding, the body of the person who is mind swapped, so in this case, since 1 is swapped over to 2 and 2's been forced back into 1, but now 1, we'll assume that 1 is still conscious, and then that person is not, they will be removed. Then mind 2 will go back to body 2, and then the body itself will remain consciousness. It'll keep consciousness. It'll still be alive as long as the body of the other person died, but the other person will die. Okay. All right. I think I have it understood. This is a poorly explained diagram. I'm trying to write out to explain it to myself, but I think I jacked it up. But if both bodies can be maintained, though, both minds can be maintained, but only one of them can be conscious at one time, and then the cycle flips back and forth. When one becomes too tired and passes out, then the other will wake back up. Both will have access to the information of their respective body, though. But if you were to off the person who had their mind swapped, or the original holder of the mind that is swapped, they are completely inert. They will be gone. Or actually, no. The victim's mind will regain consciousness. So actually, no. I got that wrong. So if body 1 dies, then victim 2 will return to body 2 and override victim 1. So 2 goes back to body 2. I'm not sure if this is even being shown properly. Body 2, then that will override mind 1. So essentially, person 1, who switched into body 2 and took over body 2, now becomes the less dominant personality and just exists within inside the new body. So that's why he needs to wait until Hulkenberg dies, because then Balsamico's original personality will perish and disappear, and then he'll presumably be able to swap back into. The question is, though, can he activate that ability while not in his own body? But then again, I guess, ultimately with person 1 dying, we don't know, presumably no, because he'll swap back into his own body once the other body's empty. Okay. Let's see. Yep, here are all the doctors. They're here with Hulkenberg, Cheadle, Leorio. Then Hulkenberg's body. They're looking at it. Yep, his body's dying. And Benjamin's watching. Okay, that makes sense. Camilla, yep, okay, yeah, so she was free. I don't think I forget how she got out of prison, but I think there wasn't enough clear evidence for either side to prosecute, so she was removed back from prison, sit back in her room. This is Zhang Lei, he's still studying the coins. And then there's this countdown timer. Oh, okay, that's right, because Seri's still learning that. Who was it that said leveling up isn't climbing a hill, but a staircase? So true. My time wouldn't just get shorter, and I was about to be discouraged. No way! In just 3 days? This is absurd! Uh-huh. What am I supposed to do with him? I still can't take it easy. Getting under the last second will be much harder. I think I flipped that. Leveling up isn't climbing a hill, but it's a staircase. Because for staircases, it's the same step every single time. Meanwhile, progress is never incremental. It is kind of like climbing a hill. It can get steeper and get shallower depending on where you step. I don't know. That's kind of backward phrase, at least from my understanding of it. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Let's see. I still can't take it easy. Getting under that last second will be much harder. 1 week or 10 days. It might even take 2 weeks. Darn it! I'll make it happen. I'll carve it down. Yeah, his greed is fathomable. That's how. The progress he can make in a given amount of time is so much more than what the average guy can do. He's so intense. Even the deadline he sets for himself is on a different level. And he knows he can make it happen. And then he said we'd spar, right? What the heck is he gonna do to me? Oh, he gonna break you. Let's see. Okay. Manifesting. Alright, so he's still training. I forget which prince this is, but they're still studying, doing research. The love prince, I feel like they're gonna be a sleeper pick. Something's gonna happen with them. It's gonna be crazy. And then, we're back here with Luzu, but still nothing crazy's happening right now. Then, yep, she's still an N-Beast. So this is the N-Beast watching over... No, it's not Kagetsu. I remember I looked up Kagetsu and Kagetsu was wrong. Fugetsu, I do believe. So she's still watching over Fugetsu. Interesting, though, that her N-Beast... So, like, I still don't know how that scenario is going to work. If she wins, what happens? That's a little weird one. I mean, it makes sense. We've seen multiple... Like, Camilla's Nen-Beast also activates after death, but at least it restores the original her. Can a Nen-Beast be king? I mean, weird. Can it reproduce? I doubt it. Let's see. Because it takes on the form. I don't think it actually is. Let's see. This is... Oh, yeah, this is the kid one. But he's the one that... Is this the one with the gigantic dragon? I forget. Let's see. The second round of classes will begin tomorrow, Thursday at 9 in the morning. The format will be the same as before, but the second Prince Camilla's guards will be joining us this time. From Prince Benjamin's camp, it'll be you, Fudikov. Fudikov? That name? It'll be you and Fudikov, as before. Is that right? Yes. So, why do you think Prince Camilla changed her mind? Maybe she's verifying your claims. They know what happened here, so there must be some benefit for their side anyway. The reason could be genuinely to take the course or gathering intel. Assassination, alliance building, strategy, basically the gamut. The gamut. I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, it could literally be anything. Let's see. Prince Camilla's personal guards use curses to... Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's what we established. Oh, shoot. They're called... Let's see. Prince Camilla's personal guards use curses unique to the have-nots. That's true. Are they Nen abilities? Is the target really wobble? Good grief. More uncertainties. I do like this guy, though. Let's see. That they're sending one person shows a firm resolve. Considering Camilla's personality, they're not coming to learn. They're definitely coming to do something. Melody's letter on the secrets of each prince didn't mention anything about Camilla. Does she have a secret that forced him to act? We want to keep Prince Camilla's guards away from Prince Wobble as much as possible. The shifts will be tough, but we'll have to do this together. That's fine. Shimano, stay by the queen's side and the prince's side. Chores can take a back seat. Depends on what they do. I'll have to contact Zhang Lei, too. I'll have to be careful. Yes, sir. But yeah, this should slaughter him, right? Because that's the point. After 12 hours, he's just gone, and then... No, it's specifically before the 12 hours, but by the 12-hour period, they won't be able to identify what's happening inside of him. That's right. They won't be able to tell it was a biohazard attack. That's the specific way that works. Let's see. You have him plugged up, and he flatlines. So, right now, if my understanding of Hulkenberg's ability is canon, he should be forcing his way back into his own body right now. Balsamico should be back in his own body. But Balsamico being back in his own body now means that Hulkenberg needs to be suppressed. But since right before this he timed it appropriately, so now the sleeping pill he took should disable Balsamico, which now means that Hulkenberg gets control back. I think. I'm not sure. Well, but let's see. And then again, the question is, are they going to cremate him? Are they going to keep him alive? I don't know. Or not keep him alive, keep him in one piece. Yep, and he's gone. Marking the time and place. All right. The body will be transferred at noon today from Tier 3 to Tier 2 via the central stairwell, and the morgue in Tier 1. Shipwide announcements. Shipwide announcement. A send-off by his supporters and his personal guards to transport the coffin. Those were his last wishes. Yes, his own words when he sensed his death. How shall we respond? How shall we respond? Do as he wished. And shall we honor his wishes, even if we don't say outright they were his? Everything should be done solemnly with dignity, so that his supporters don't turn to anger. Inform Judge Clea we drop all charges, so that his guards can join him at once. Smart. But wait a minute. Right. When the initial... So that's weird. Because the body's under the effect of the sleeping pill, but since Balsamico was transferred back into his body, at the same time the sleeping pill took effect, Hulkenberg gets control again. That's a little funky. So, the mind, even though it's not directly tied to the body, can be affected by things that take place in the body, but the trespassing mind can ignore the effects that are placed on the body. Huh. A little funky. Let's see. I think it's good. It's good that it works that way for Hulkenberg. Like, that's a little strange. You think the body would still have an effect on the mind if the body can have an effect on the mind at all. Considering it has an effect on the base body's mind. And okay. Let's see. Yes, sir. So, once they get here, I'll discuss the funeral plans and an autopsy and monitor the process. That means I'll return at the same time as Hulkenberg's body. Make sure it gets handled respectively. Respectfully. Well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my brother. I'm afraid we have some tragic news to report. Prince Hulkenberg passed away in the early hours this morning. At noon, his funeral procession will pass through the central staircase on its way to Tier 1. On Tier 3, those who wish to pay their respects may gather in the central staircase square. Is the prince some benefactor for either gang? Nah. Who cares? Let's get down to Tier 4. Thanks to Henry? Henry? I'm not sure. Placing the transmitter where they can't find it. We have time. There's something I want to check with the other two families before we head to the Healy hideout. What about the Healy? What about Healy? Yeah, no point. We crushed them anyway. I'm gonna look up their dub voices. Sorry, I know this is I'm doing such a bad job of voice acting the spiders. But I'm trying to remember what they sound like in dub, but I think I may have heard it once or twice. So I'm gonna look up their voices to make sure I can try and at least mimic theirs. Because I'm better, I'm manipulating my own range, but I am better at just altering my voice to sound like other voices. As long as I know what the voice sounds like in my head, but I cannot picture how any of the spiders sound like right now. Let's see. It has something to do with how we crushed them, of course. We have to call the others depending on what they say. You make no sense. Being charmed by the enemy is creepy. Well, if it's unfounded, then whatever. I'll just beat you up if I'm right on this. All right. So, Big money moves, big money moves, big money moves, big money moves. So, with Hulkenberg's body dying, I wonder if Balsamico even has access to a backup way. Because I'm presuming what's going to happen now is that... Okay, let's think this properly. I'm assuming Hulkenberg's plan is to use Balsamico's bioweapon on Benjamin as well, while he's still in control of Balsamico's body. Benjamin will die, naturally, and then it'll be assumed that Benjamin died at the hands of Balsamico. Because it was the bioweapon that he last had hands on, it'll be considered an internal traitorship. Bada bing, bada boom. Balsamico will then be arrested or slaughtered, death, whatever. He'll get taken care of. And then anything that'll happen between those two is clear. Then the first prince is gone, and then his best advisor is also gone. Boom. The first prince's men fall into disarray. But then, I suppose Hulkenberg will end up back in his original body? Maybe? Because I'm assuming the point is to have Balsamico die, so he'll be free of his own ability. Because then he'll be removed back to his body. But his body's also dead. Right? So, like, did they test? Because I don't think they tested whether or not him getting transferred back to his original body will literally bring him back to life. The mind being attached to the body. As long as it's still in one piece and it's cleaned up, it'll presumably be fine. Because ultimately we know the toxin biodegrades. It has a horrible, whatever the toxic equivalent to, or bioweapon equivalent to a half-life is. Its half-life is garbage. So by the time he's transferred back into his body, the toxin won't be there anymore. But will he auto-res? That's a bit of a gamble. But I suppose that's all. What's this all for? So, overall, a W chapter. If you made it all the way to the end, sorry for my incessant confusion and inability to read properly, but if you made it all the way to the end, please leave hijack, as in, like, I think the word is just, for some reason my brain is screaming hijack as if it's two separate words, but hijack in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that lonely case bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also do have to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1. Come on, no, you things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. So now become a member on the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions to every series I happen to review, and free ratings of all my videos, and becoming a $25 patron or a $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that with a pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, Red Wolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, G Prosper, and Glacier XZ. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Sean, Igneel Lind, and A+A. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine and Austin Wimberly, A Uchiha, along with Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 members, Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Joaquin Munoz, and Idemo Kami. And I'd like to give a final, giga, legendary, superhuman, beyond the bounds of reality thank you to our That Guy with a Pencil tier patron, Calvin Elder.